Colossus, old bud. What are you doing here? Sure ain't waiting for a bus.
No, Tovarich. I have been hired to, how do they say, enhance security.
The new gatekeeper, huh? Well, I got a problem. The clock is ticking. Gotta get inside, pal. No ifs and buts.
Professor Xavier has informed me of your situation. I am truly sorry, old friend, but I cannot let you pass to the elevator behind me.
Oh?
That is, if I should happen to see you. Good luck, old friend.
You don't want to draw attention to yourself here, Logan.
I need to blend in. I better keep my head down and my claws in. Electric floor. If I could just find the on switch. Frosty.
left me a toy to play with. Gotta use this droid to open the door and clear a path.
alert! Intruder alert! All security cyborgs report to level 27. Intruder is identified as an Alpha Class mutant.
Take it easy, guys. You don't know what we're dealing with here.
Look out!
Where are you, Wolverine? Looking for your little scientist friends, are you? Well, you'd better get on the stick, old son, because if I find them before you do, they're dead meat.
One false move will ruin everything, Logan.
Some objects that hold useful items. Remember this.
The guards are situated all over the town. Stealth tactics seem your best option for this situation.
Too quiet around here. We gotta let out the party people. Let my people go.
Condition red. Condition red. Alpha class cells have been breached. Most powerful mutants are loose.
Pretty cool, Logan. Pretty damn cool. this. You know who I am?
Your Weapon X. We know why you're here.
We always had doubts about the ethical implications of Department H's work.
Doubts? You're all hard.
Please. I've written out the Part A serum formula for you.
Chuck, are you there? I got the formula. Something's wrong. Xavier ain't getting through.
A psionic link? It won't work here. The void is shielded.
You'll have to wait till you get outside.
Saber-Tooth may be looking for you, and he ain't bringing flowers.
Hey!
Juggernaut. Cyborg or not, that was just plain rude.
Who died and made you miss manners? Better get scared, short stuff! You know you're no match for me!
Juggernaut is invincible when he's running. You cannot hurt him.
Only a lucky shot! Don't you ever touch my helmet! Where'd you learn that trick? Don't you ever touch my helmet!
Juggernaut, you done big mountain yet?
No, not the helmet!
Ain't that irresistible?
No, not the helmet!
Need to derail the Meathead Express.
Don't you
ever touch my helmet! You look good, stop flat! You ain't stopping me getting out of this!
Ain't that irresistible?
Don't you ever touch my helmet!
That hits smart, don't it, big boy?
No, not the helmet!
Juggernaut, you done big mouthing yet?
Don't you ever touch my helmet!
Come on, Kane, is that the best you got?
Prepare for pain, little man! Prepare for pain, little man! You look good, stop! Sort of. No, not the helmet!
Hey, Colossus, let's treat Tin Head to a fastball special. There it goes.
I think maybe I take care of scrap metal now.
The loudspeaker said other Alpha Class mutants got loose. Who are we talking about here?
Magneto and Omega Red. They are gone.
Enhanced security? I'm sorry, bud, but after all this, you're gonna get fired for sure.
As you say, maybe I should not give up on the day job.
Now that you've blown your chances of promotion, mind telling me how to take down the quantum disruption shield? Pretty please. I hear you, pal. Time to get off this rig. Chuck, are you there?
Good news, Logan. Hank has synthesized the Part B serum. Did you secure Part A?
Here it is. Did you get that, Jack?
Got it. But one thing, Logan. Our instruments detect a massive magnetic disturbance in an industrial area just east of where you are.
Sounds like Magneto. A mess of dangerous mutants got loose, and it's my fault for leading Saber-Tooth here. I should have taken him out when I had the chance. I gotta do something.
Do what you have to do, Logan. Hank and I will work on the serum, and we'll fly it down to you in the Blackbird as soon as it's complete. Good luck.
Keep in touch, Chuck.
Attention mutant hunters. Attention mutant hunters. Your contract has been activated. Retrieve all escaped mutants. Surveillance cameras have identified the intruder as a mutant known as Wolverine.
You want him breathing or not, Borden?
Whatever's easier, Magus.
Just what I like to hear. Power up acoustic and visual enhancement units. All weapon modules on ready mode.
Weapon mod's hot.
Mutant hunters will deploy in the troop group transports. I'll be flying cover and command in the Phantom gunship. Yo, what do you call a mutant waving a white flag, boys?
A moving target!
You got it!
Logan, we've been tracking Magneto via Cerebro. He is heading directly for a steel mill in the forest, due east of where you are.
Makes sense, Chuck. All that iron, he'd be in his element.
Correct. And in a place that might provide the means for him to neutralize the magnetic flux limiter collar that is currently holding his powers in check.
So, if I don't get to him before he gets that collar off, he's gonna be chucking scrap iron at me by the metric ton?
Worse yet, Logan. The prolonged dampening of Magneto's powers may have even amplified them. He may be more dangerous than ever.
Yeah, rubs me wrong to ride another man's scoot without his permission. I can't be late for my throwdown with old Buckethead.
Logan. We meet again, and in a place where steel flows in rivers, and lightning converges with gravity.
Watch out for moving objects, Logan. I'm sure they have intent to do you harm. Logan, you now have professional mutant hunters on your trail. These people are trained extensively on how to counter specific mutant abilities. Beware of poisonous elements. They will restrict your healing factor.
What the...
The mutant hunters are all over the area, Wolverine. This is your hardest test yet.
This is senseless. You, of all my foes, I respect the most, for you have integrity, and you have honor.
I ain't forgetting that you ripped the adamantium out of me once. Nothing respectful about that.
And now we duel again. Even with my powers tempered by this cursed device, I am far more powerful than you.
I didn't come this far to take a rain check, Magneto. I came to rumble.
Logan, I'm in my prime here. You will lose today.
Xavier isn't around to hold me back this time.
Mutants will lead the meek. It is our destiny.
Shake yourself free, Logan.
Your will is surprisingly strong, Logan. Your will is surprisingly strong, Logan. Logan, leave while you still can. The worm turns. You insist on making things hard for yourself. Mutants will lead the meek. It is our destiny. You are really no match for me. Your temerity is admirable, but fruitless. You've managed to injure me severely. Astounding. I call that a crushing blow. Logan, leave while you still can. Unbreakable? We'll see.
Like it or not, you're going back to the void.
You must hurry, Wolverine. The virus is taking hold.
Savor this small victory. It will be your only one.
Logan, there is too much magnetic interference where you are for Rogue to home in on you with the Blackbird's instruments.
Any ideas, Chuck?
Make your way back to the city, to the top of the Xenon building. There's a navigation beacon we can home in on.
I'm out of here. Get scarce if you know what's good for you, girlie.
You looking for a ride to the Xenon building?
How'd you know that?
Maybe you are a good guy after all. I owe you one, Wolverine. I'm backing your plan.
Lady Deathstrike.
They were all cyborgs under my control. Except for Saber-Tooth, of course. He did it for money, and for the pleasure of causing you pain.
You set this up? What for a year ago? Don't you know I'm dying?
Revenge, you fool! I wanted your death to be in my hands. You, who are bonded with the adamantium process invented by my father. You, who stole my legacy.
You want the adamantium back that bad? Come and get it.
The virus is breaking down your healing pattern. You must be more careful.
Guts ain't pressed under a microchip.
Hold on, Logan. The Blackbird will be with you soon. The Blackbird will be with you soon.
used to the shame of defeat. My death is not the death you will know, Logan. I have forsaken my humanity for revenge, and I will see no end of pain. Only an eternity of cold replacement parts and the smell of hot solder. You have won, Logan. For now!
Rogue will be with you soon, Logan. Hang in there.
Sugar? You look like something the cat dragged in. Best have a slug of this here serum that Hank mixed up for you.
It's you, little helper, Rogue. Nasty. You didn't bring me anything frosty to wash it down with, did you, darling?
I'm the pilot, not the cabin attendant, big boy. You ready to go home?
Can't ever go home again, darling. Just take me where I can put my feet up on the table and nobody cares. Reasons? Hell, maybe we all have our reasons. Ain't none bigger than revenge. Deathstrike became its slave. Revenge is a twisting, searing fire that burns deep in your belly. Take it away and you're left to face up to the reality of who and what you are. Revenge? I still want more. And maybe that's just as well.
Are you sure this is the one you want? He seems rather uncontrollable.
Yes, he is the one I need. A pure survivor. Truly one of the strong. Begin making preparations for my newest horseman.
The loudspeaker said other Alpha-class mutants got loose. Who are we talking about here?
Magneto and Omega Red. Omega Red.
M2
Here comes a real classic. This one I like. It's quiet. Too quiet. I love the classics. It's quiet. Too quiet. That's why it's a classic. It's great.
All right, good. Hold on, please.
Oh, it's fun to pretend, isn't it? Ah!
Easy there, buddy.
You picked a bad day to come sneaking up on me, bub. I'd say you strayed off your home turf a bit.
Heard about the big bust out at the Void. So I rode out here in the chartered bus along with the other superheroes who can't fly or teleport.
Right, and my Aunt Tilly body doubled for Madonna.
Can you use a hand here? I hear you're ramping up for a showdown with Magneto.
Well, amongst other things. If you want to help, deal with this chaos till damage control gets here.
Yeah, sure.
I got me a date.
Wolverine. Very little is known of Logan, the man we refer to as Wolverine. Department H and the Weapon X facility did their best to eliminate Wolverine's past and all other vestiges of his humanity in an attempt to make him a more efficient killer. On the exterior, he is a living weapon, imbued with a healing factor that compensates for nearly any injury, and a skeleton and claws that are all but indestructible. At his core, however, he is much, much more. He is both noble and savage, the prototypical masterless samurai, seeking to understand his past in the hopes that it will lead him to a brighter future. Saber-Tooth. Saber-Tooth was once in the very same covert operations unit that created Wolverine. Unlike Wolverine, Saber-Tooth has given up any pretense of humanity and exists only for the kill. Saber-Tooth, with the strength, speed, savagery, and healing factor to rival Wolverine's, to this day remains one of Logan's most implacable foes. Wendigo. Wolverine's first assignment with Department H was no small task. Find and eliminate the Incredible Hulk. On that mission, he encountered the Wendigo. This poor soul is the result of an ancient curse placed upon the Canadian wilderness and lives off human flesh. Although the curse can be passed on to different people, the spirit that is the Wendigo will always remember one of its greatest foes, Wolverine. The Professor. Charged with the creation of a mutant-powered covert operations unit, the Professor assembled some of Canada's greatest mutants for the task, whether they wanted to join or not. With cold calculation, augmentations were mandated for some of the group's members. First among these orders was the grafting of adamantium to the bones of the mutant codenamed Weapon X. Today, Weapon X goes by another name, Wolverine. Carol Hines. Caught up in events that she was powerless to change, Carol Hines felt she had no choice but to follow orders in the creation of Weapon X. But as Carol shall no doubt discover, there is almost always a choice, and verily there are always consequences. Dr. Cornelius. 30 years ago, Dr. Cornelius and others destroyed a man named Logan and replaced him with the killing machine known as Wolverine. He has regretted his actions ever since, but more importantly, he fears what will happen when all of his demons come home to roost. Department H and the Weapon X facility. Nestled deep within the Canadian wilderness, Department H and the facility were responsible for the Weapon X program some 30 years ago. Now the facility is running again, carrying out new, sinister agendas and tying up loose ends. One of these loose ends happens to be the elimination of the now wayward members of a 30-year-old super soldier program known as Weapon X. Colossus. As the world inched irrevocably closer to the precipice of genetic war, Pyotr Rasputin stood his ground. The powerhouse of the X-Men, he used his mutant powers to protect those who had come to hate and fear his kind. But the cold organic steel into which the Russian-born Colossus could transform masked an artistic heart, a heart of such courage and strength that he sacrificed his life to cure the lethal legacy virus. Juggernaut. When my stepbrother, Cain Marco, discovered the power residing within the gem of Sitarak, he became the unstoppable Juggernaut. Unfortunately, he has since used his almost limitless might to fuel his long-harbored resentment toward me, clashing time and again with myself and the X-Men over the years. Now Cain is being held in the void, there until he is either rehabilitated or we devise a means to divest him of the mystic energies which make him such a dangerous foe. Omega Red. Originally created as the Soviet answer to Captain America, Arkady Rossovich was eventually placed into cryo-sleep due to his psychotic and uncontrollable nature. He has recently been reawakened and has resumed his quest for the carbonadium synthesizer, the only device that can stabilize his mutant ability to generate death pheromones. The whereabouts of the C synthesizer are known to only one man, Wolverine. Magneto. The enmity between Magneto and Logan reached a peak when Magneto used his ability to manipulate magnetic fields to forcibly remove Wolverine's adamantium skeleton from his body. Testimony to Wolverine's resilience, he survived the encounter. I personally fear for the next time these two meet, for in such an encounter, no quarter will be asked and none given. Lady Deathstrike. Wolverine's skeleton can be credited to Lady Deathstrike's father, who developed the process by which adamantium can be bonded to bone. Upon her father's murder, Lady Deathstrike vowed to revenge herself on the man she mistakenly believes to be responsible, Wolverine. To that end, she will employ any means necessary, going so far as to transform herself into a cyborg in the hopes that it will be enough to restore her honor and put her father's memory to rest. The Void. Like the Vault, the Void functions as a maximum security prison for superpowered mutant criminals. Every cell is tailor-made to house its criminal guests. Only the most dangerous and incorrigible individuals end up here, and should they be set free, they would doubtless rain destruction on a very unsuspecting world. The Mutant Hunters, headed by Maydeus. This new breed of shock troopers is the latest to come from the darkened corners of Department H and the facility. Led by a soldier known only as Maydeus, the mutant hunters carry out the directives of their masters in Department H with a cold and ruthless efficiency. Mr. Sinister. Not actually a mutant at all, Dr. Nathaniel Essex is the product of his own twisted genius and Apocalypse's dark ministrations. Now, Mr. Sinister spends his immortality manipulating the mutant genome from the shadows in an attempt to create the perfect mutant. If he succeeds, he will have the perfect weapon to use against his lord and master, Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Known as En-Saba-Nur in a time before the pyramids were first built in Egypt, Apocalypse is the first of our kind, and self-proclaimed High Lord of all mutants. Apocalypse has, in his long lifetime, influenced events through manipulation from the shadows or open warfare accompanied by his horsemen. He has managed to survive through the eons by strict adherence to his Darwinian tenet of only the strongest shall survive.